Hello everyone, welcome to Anatomy Dinner. I'm your host, Isaac. Today we'll be talking about fish. To me, fish has perhaps one of the simpler anatomies than other animals. In the culinary sense, of course. And yes, there are numerous different looking fish out there. But believe it or not, the anatomical similarities that they share far exceed their differences. Here's a drawing of a standardized fish. Let's orient ourselves first. The head end of the fish is the rostral or the anterior end, and the tail end is the caudal or the posterior end. The top or the back of the fish is its dorsal side, and the bottom or the belly of the fish is its ventral side. These terminologies help us name the fins of the fish. On the dorsal side, there are two anterior and posterior fins. The tail is also called the caudal fin. Another fin close to the tail, on the ventral side, is the anal fin. No, it's not the most uptight fin. It's just very close to the sphincter. These aforementioned fins serve the purpose of keeping the fish in balance while the tail moves to propel the fish forward. There are two sets of fins close to the fish head, two pectoral fins and two pelvic fins. There are one of each on either side, steering the fish. The pectoral fins are actually analogous to human arms, and pelvic fins are like human legs. And before you ask, yes, this is what a mermaid would look like in my mind. SpongeBob actually got it right. Now when you take the skin off, not the mermaid, we're done with the mermaid. The fish. You will see two loins, the top back loin and the bottom belly loin, divided by a groove where the vertebra lie underneath. The loins, or the fillet of fish, is what we're most interested in, I hope. Note that the back loin is anatomically quite similar to the beef or pork tenderloin. However, it is far more exercised, and therefore less tender, than the belly loin, whose main function is just to hold the fish's internal organs. The internal organs are situated in the cavity between the anterior portions of the belly loins. They include the heart, and the gastric and the urogenital organs, that empty into the anus and the urogenital orifice, respectively. Note the anus is actually in front of the urogenital. Imagine that. Now the dreadful fish bones. All the fins have bony attachments to the torso of the fish. The vertebra has dorsal, ventral, as well as lateral bony processes. The ribs which outline the organ cavity are attached to the anterior portion of the vertebra. Examining closely, you will find that, with the exception of ribs and lateral processes of the vertebra, all fish bones lie in the sagittal or the median plane along the vertebra. Therefore, if we can manage to cut along either side of the vertebra, we should have fish fillets mostly free of bones. I think that was enough theoretic chatter. Now let's take our knowledge to the field. Nick is coming to cook with me today. We'll use our knowledge of the fish anatomy and make sashimi. Thank you.
Yes, okay then.
First, peel the daikon. Julienne the daikon with a mandolin. Arrange the daikon shreds like this. And since I couldn't get a hold of any shiso leaves, I'm improvising with sesame leaves. You know the fish is fresh if its eyes are crystal clear, not cloudy, and there's very minimum fishy smell. Most fish vendors would help you gut and clean the scales of the fish upon request, which I did. I start on the dorsal side by making a longitudinal cut along the vertebra. When you cut deep enough, you will hit some bones. They are the lateral processes of the vertebra. Just cut through them. You'll also be cutting through ribs in the anterior half of the fillet. To detach the fillet from the head, make a line by connecting the pectoral and pelvic fins, and cut along that line. Then, hold the anterior portion of the fillet. Slide your knife all the way down to the tail to free the fillet. Turn the skin side of the fillet down and cut out the ribs. With tweezers, pick out the row of bones in the groove between two loins. Now the fillet is boneless, we can actually use it as is, but since we're making sashimi today, we will press on. Divide the back and belly loins with a cut along the groove. Optionally, we can take off the skin. Slide the knife just between the skin and the loin. Then, with your other hand, pull the skin out underneath the blade. If you are using the skin for sashimi, however, make sure you pour some boiling water over it, as most people won't find raw fish skin pleasant. And finally, slice the loins on the bias. Arrange the slices on the serving plate that was previously garnished with daikon, and try to make it aesthetic. And there you have it, the knowledge of fish anatomy on the plate. Thank you for watching Anatomy Dinner. Until next time, I bid you grand eating.